Okay, in this particular one, we are going to describe the slope of the line, and then we're going to find the slope. So in the very first thing on the page before, you had the key idea that the slope of a line is a ratio of the change in y to the change in x. Basically, they call it the rise over the run because the rise is up and down and the run is back and forth, which is the x and the y. So you've got your rise over your run. I'll just put that right. Oh, that's too high for you. I'll put it right here. Rise over run is going to be your slope. And so when you're describing the slope, the rise comes from left to right and it's positive. So if you look at this as you're driving across here, you're noticing that you keep going up. So this is going to be positive. So that is your describing of it. It will be a positive answer. And then to find your change in y over your change in x, it's simply y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. So if I'm using this particular one, I would take my y value of 4 minus my negative 3, no, y is 1, so minus negative 1, over my x value of 3 minus a negative 3. So what you're going to notice, move that up a little bit, is that 4 minus a negative is actually adding the opposite, or 5. Adding the opposite is 5/8. So it's positive because they both ended up being positive numbers. Oh, I'm sorry, the 8 is not an 8, it's a 6. 3 plus 3 is 6. Thank you for telling me that. It's positive 5/6. So it's positive and it's 5/6 when you describe it. If you take a look at this one over here, I don't know if you saw that was how I got the numbers. So then over here I got two ordered pairs again, but if I look at this way, I'm going down from left to right. If you're reading that line, it's going down. So this is going to actually be a negative slope. So just by looking at it, you can tell if it's positive or negative. And this one's going to be negative, but if we do our change in y over our change in x, we're going to take the y of negative 2 minus 1 over 1 minus a negative 1. So this is your y over your x. Negative 2 minus 1, 1 minus negative 1. You can take them in any order. I could take this number first, but if I take the 1, it's 1 minus a negative 2, and then negative 1 minus 1. Either way it would work. Just make sure you're using the same ordered pair in the same order. So negative 2 minus 1, I'm going deeper in the hole, so it's 3. Negative 1 minus negative 1 is like adding the opposite, so it's 3 over 2. So you have negative 3 halves because I believe this was a negative 3. So your negative 3 halves is your slope on that one. So you can describe it by just telling me if it's negative or positive, and then you can actually solve for it by giving me the change in y over the change in x. I did 2 examples for you. If you think you understand this, you can try 3 of them on your own on the next page.